Morning to one and all. In this video, I would like to explain about transmission power management schemes. So these transmission power management schemes will also classified into data link layer power management techniques, network layer power management techniques, so and then higher layer power management. So in the data link layer management, example is dynamic power adjustment. Network layer example is power aware routing. Higher layer is congestion control transmission policies at TCP IP. First we discussed about data link layer. So that is link layer solutions. So transmission power management schemes, in that first solution is link layer solution. Out of this link layer solution, the first one is power save in IEEE 802.11 ADAC mode. Okay, so here in IEEE 802.11 the time is divided into some beacon intervals. So here each beacon interval begins with ATIM window. So ATIM window means ad hoc traffic indication message. So here the first ATIM window is started. So once before going to transfers the data, so first ATIM window is transferred. So this ATIM window is transferred. So here the receiver is ready. This window, the use of this window is whether that receiver is properly properly received to the data or not. So once the sender is sending the data and receiver should not receive that data, so unnecessary wastage of power. So like this ATIM window is synchronized between the sender and receiver while transmitting the data. So by this so that we can save the data by sending the ATIM window. So now first one is in this example transmission power management schemes. So let us assume this example. So in this example, node A, node B and node C are there. So node A will send the data to the node B and node C. So this node A will sends the ATIM request message. So ATIM request message to the node B and node C. So in this node C will not response to that request. So node B is response to the ATIM window request to the node A. So that node B will sends to the node A to ATIM window. So that so again ATIM acknowledgement is sent by the node A to node B. So this is all this one ATIM window request and response. So once ATIM window request and acknowledgement is finished, actual data will be transferred. So here the ATIM window request and acknowledgement is in the low power mode transactions and data is the high power transactions. So like this so the power consumption will be saved in this power saved in IEEE 802.11 scheme. So and again here the power control in IEEE 802.11 ad hoc mode. So in this power control, a power control MAC protocol allows node to vary transmitter power from packet level to packet basis. So here the when C transmits the data to D, at higher level B will not so suppose C and D will transmit the data with by using high power. So while B in that time the B is not transmits the data to A. So if C and D will communicated with the minimum power whatever they need, so by using this minimum power, so the another power will utilized by the B, so that that another power utilized by the B it is communicated to A. So like this the whatever the power required, so only that much of power will taken by the nodes, so that we can communicate it with the other nodes within the network. Okay, so this is the another example transmission power management schemes. So in this in this power management schemes, the following example: suppose node A and B use the lower power less than the C and D. When A is transmitting to B, C and D may not sense to the transmission. When C and D transmit to each other using high power, the transmission may collide with ongoing transmission from A and B. So like this the transmissions will done. So here the transmission power management schemes. So before going to transmission, first RTS CTS messages are transferred. So request to send, clear to send messages are transferred. So once the request to send message whenever A to B is transferred, so RTS and CTS messages are respectively with high power levels such that node C receives the CTS with defer to its transmission. So like this RTS CTS only request and request to send, clear to send messages are transferred with the high power, like high power, then the data will be data and acknowledgement packets will transfer the low power. So while changing this type of power management, so we can save the total energy power. Okay, so like this. So another scheme is, so this is RTS and CTS mechanism. Okay, so then next another transmission power management. So in this another transmission power management is network layer solutions. So in this network layer solution, common power control. So in this common power control means, suppose if the given reachability of the node as a function of a power, minimum power level that provides the network connectivity. So that means nodes can communicated with minimum power, so it provides the network connectivity. And if you use high power, so it will be in distance will be more. So like this, so the network will be connected with the optimized power. Once optimized power will be connected, the data can be transferred. So here the another network layer solution is minimum variance in node power levels. So the motivation is to ensure that all the nodes are given equal importance and no node drained faster and compared to the nodes in the network. So here the minimum variance in the node power level means all the nodes are equal power drained. So no node have low power and no node have less high power. Okay. So while transmitting the packet, a node select the next hop node so that it has to the least amount of traffic among the neighbors of the node. So formula to transfer the data. Okay, so the next another one is minimum battery and cost routing. So in minimum battery cost routing means, suppose here to transfer the data from source to destination, so whatever the path is minimum, along the path the power constraint is minimum, so we can choose that type of path, we can transfer the data that type of path. Okay. So then another one is conditional min-max battery cost routing. So it uses only nodes that have the battery change over the threshold, find the minimum total power path. Okay. So here, so what is the total threshold of the battery? So that battery is reached, so it find the minimum total power path. Okay, this is the conditional min-max battery cost routing. And next one is minimum energy disjoint path route. So this is the important path need to having the disjoint path in ADAC network is because of the need of the reliable packet transmission and energy efficiency. So ADAC networks are highly unreliable due to the mobility of the nodes, that hence the probability of the link failure is quite high such a network. Okay, this problem can be overcome means of link disjoint routing. So here since ADAC networks have straight battery constraint, no disjoint routing considerably increases the lifetime of the network by choosing the different routing for transmitting packet at different points at the time. Okay.